What's up guys, my name is JDCook5 and welcome back to part 2 of the F1 2023 My Team career. We go straight into things with a few different options that we've got for Lawson to be able to upgrade his pace or awareness. We're going to go for pace this time round. Obviously we want to get him all round kind of attributes upgraded, but for the time being we will select his pace. Our second race of the series is going to Saudi Arabia, and the circuit being Jeddah, a very fast track and a very exciting one at that. Before we get to that though, we have a few activities that we need to assign. We're going to be using the new feature of autofill activities. It's very helpful in honesty. I feel like it selects the best for what is suited for your team, but yeah, definitely something that is very helpful to say the least. So here we are, we're in Saudi Arabia on the Jeddah circuit, a very fast circuit. Circuit I quite like, to be honest. It's got a lot of twists and turns. It's a very kind of close quarters circuit also. Something that you need to do when basically is just not to make any sort of mistakes, because it can snap you up straight away. So that is the first practice that we're going to get underway. As I say before in the last episode, if you're not too sure of the format that we do, we go into the first practice, we complete that, we do the assignments that we need to do, then we go into the qualifying, we do a short qualifying, and then we do a 35% race, which can ever be normally about 18 to 20 laps. Just the options of there, I went for the ERS strategy, and I went for, what else did I go for? The race strategy also. ERS was quite simple, all you had to do was be quite fast, and to be honest I didn't use any energy, so it quite helps not doing so. It's simple, I was able to do it in one lap. They give you 3, but I was able to do it in 1. The more we do of these, the more points we get, the more we can upgrade the car, the more our second driver can gain more experience, more pace, more awareness, more all of these different things combined. So without doing this, we won't enable that, so we need to do these things at the start. It's nice to be able to get a know-how for the track though. Obviously a new game, we don't know if anything's changed, what it's like. Obviously the car reacts completely differently to the track that we previously played in Qatar. The car felt much better in all honesty, not so much when I was going into corners. I felt like I wasn't having the back end turn at me so much. The traction felt really good when going into corners, and I felt like the car held its own really well. Didn't feel like it kind of went out whatsoever, and yeah, it felt fast. My only issue is the straight speed. I'm really struggling on straight speed. So I do believe that a lot of tracks that will benefit this car are the ones with tight corners and that don't have predominantly kind of long straights. This had quite a few long straights and a lot of DRS points as well, so you needed to have a car that had big straights. I wasn't doing too bad in the practice in terms of what I was getting result wise. I stayed 5th for quite a while honestly. Obviously this is a ballpark. I wasn't going to go for, this wasn't something I was going to go for like a lap time or anything. This was purely just to be able to better my weekend and hopefully bring that into the qualifying for where I can get a good position on the grid. Our second assignment was the race strategy. I do all the 3 laps on here. If you complete all 3 laps well and you get to 50 points I do believe, then you don't need to complete it any further. The rest you're only completing for, it's just a data completed. But yeah, as you say, 3 laps done, so that is that done, and I've collected my 50 points and I'm able to move on to qualifying. That's the results from practice 1. Obviously we are way down the pecking order, finishing in 19th with our teammate being in 16th there. Not too fast though, as I say, I'm not doing it for a lap time, it's purely just to get the know-how of the track, see how the car's reacting if I need to make any changes possible, and get as many programs completed to be able to benefit the team. So here we go, we're into qualifying, something that I was really excited about. We're going into night time as well in the circuit. Obviously we'll be racing under the floodlights, which will be nice and cool. But yeah, we don't do too bad, and actually our first lap ends to be our better one. We do go wide here, which is really annoying. Behind Joe, I couldn't get past him whatsoever. It was really frustrating. I was much faster than Joe, but he seemed to be slowing me down, and it was just so annoying to be able to get past him. I do eventually get past him, and yeah, it was just a thing where I had to be, I actually went into the back of him now, surprised I didn't get a collision. I had to check for front wing damage at the start. I was able to get a purple sector there and go on the inside and just completely go around him, enabling myself a bit of more space and a bit more hopeful seconds I can kind of gain. Obviously when you've got someone in front of you, it's going to be hard to be able to gain the time. And what I was talking about at the start of the episode, I say we've got corner cutting there, but at the start of the episode, this track is fine margins. You see me bouncing off the wall there. that is exactly what this track is like. You make one mistake, you're in the wall. It's as simple as that. It's really frustrating, and I nearly do it again and I hit my wing there, which is really frustrating, and I have to go in eventually. It doesn't affect me too much. I am able to gain a decent lap time from it, but yeah, I have to then say that basically I need to go in. They're aware that my front wing has got damage, and it's just one of those. It wasn't too bad, but it did affect me a little bit. We end up getting P9 in qualifying. That is our best qualifying yet. I do believe when we qualified P18 last time. So yeah, that is a big improvement to say the least. Obviously at the start it's going to be much easier for us, not having to get through so many drivers if we do make a good start. And that is confirmation of your grid for tomorrow's race. We have Sergio Perez first, Leclerc second, Verstappen going behind him in third. Confirmation of our teammate finishing 20th, so he'll be 20th on the grid. And yeah, it's not a bad start from us. We're 0.08 of a second off. So yeah, we'll wait and see, and we'll get into the race.
Good morning, good afternoon, or for us, good evening, as we're under the night lights of Jeddah. The floodlights are on, and so is the pressure here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Cook, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Albon, Joe, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Liam Lawson, De Vries, Liam Lawson. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we are, we're on the grid, it's 5 lights out and away we go, rev into the limiter as possible, and here we go. So we've got Norris to our left, we've got Russell in front of us, we've got Alonso in front of us. There are our main objectives to get past at the moment. Norris trying to outbrake me, but I'm able to go on the outside, but going a little bit wide and nearly into him. We are wheel to wheel going into that first corner there. We are able to get past him. We've got Russell in front of us, we put on the overtake button and away we go, but we nearly go into Russell. Jesus, I go completely wide into here. I've got Magnussen behind me, he's overtaken Norris and I cannot get control of this car whatsoever. Tyres are cold, not much grip whatsoever, and the pack in front of me is away. That is a hectic start to say the least. I didn't think I was going to collide into Norris, but we were able to gain a little bit of space and get past him. Nice to be able to have a little bit of 1 second gap I've got in front of me and behind me, so there's definitely time to be able to see what we can do. Not a bad start from us though. We move up into P8, so we're 1 place above from our original starting place of 9th, and hopefully we're able to get past Alonso, and you never know to see where we could go. A hectic start, but we're now into lap 6 and we're 0.06 of a second behind Alonso. He's battling Russell in front of him. We could get some DRS here and we could whiz past them, but I'm not too sure because I feel like it is going to be a bit of a DRS train going into this one. These are some fast corners and we have to hold our own, but we do go wide into that corner. Tyre concerns at the moment aren't too bad. We have got enough grip, so that is the main thing. I'm just catching Alonso, it's 0.03 of a second, it's going down, it is going down, late on the brakes going into that corner. We go left, we go right, and we go back into another DRS train. where we are able to see if we can get past him or not. I do have the better speed coming out of that corner, it's just whether I can get past him. Alonso looks to go on the right of Russell on the outside of that corner. Going to allow him to get some space, and hopefully I'm able to capitalise on that. Alonso has a slow exit, but he's squishing me to the wall there. I'm going to go into the wall any minute now if he squeezes me anymore. I'm able to get past them, but I do exceed track limits, but we are up into 6th. 2 positions gained off of that overtake. I'll quite happily take the exceeded track limits and the warning to be able to get past them. I nearly bin it into that corner, but we were able to get past, and we see ourselves in P6 on lap 7 of 18. Unbelievable overtake that was, and we do get a resume racing here. Someone has crashed or someone is out, I'm not too sure. I bet we have something pop up any second now. There we are, Oscar Piastri. Not a good start for him. A mechanical failure it seems, and that forces him out of the race. And not a good second race for Oscar Piastri. Not a good start to life in McLaren, and we see him out of the race. Continuing in lap 7 of 18, I've got Alonso and I've got Russell still behind me. 400ths of a second and 800ths of a second to Russell. They're going to get some DRS though, and they are able to probably get past me if I'm not able to defend. They go to my left. I could have Russell on my right if he was close enough, but Alonso breezes past me there, getting a nice bit of straight speed. I've got Russell behind me also, and I just squeeze the gap ever so slightly, trying to hold on to that, and we will get some DRS coming out of that corner onto the final straight, going over the line for lap 8. A lot is not happening at the moment. I'm still in the same situation where I'm behind Alonso and I've got Russell right at the back of me. Not a lot I can really do as of the moment. I just have to contain the pace that I've got and hopefully make a move as soon as there's some space. Alonso going late on the brakes there. You can see how hard he's pushing in that corner. I'm going to box this lap though. I really want to box because Alonso's going to be doing so also. I want to try to stick behind him as close as possible, and hopefully we come out at the same sort of time. Hopefully we're going to aim for a 2.4, 2.5 pit stop. It's just whether we are able to get the optimal turn in. We shall see right now. Yes, we do. That's a purple optimal turn in, and hopefully the boys can get us away. 2.5, and that does allow us to go right behind Alonso going into lap 9, and we are on the mediums. Going to have a little bit more grip in terms of overall. I did actually feel strong on the oh my god, I nearly went in straight to the back of him, but yeah, I would not have been happy going into the back of him straight after coming out of the pits. As I was trying to say before I rammed Alonso, we were feeling strong on the mediums and I felt like I had a decent amount of grip. Obviously the first lap on them is going to feel a bit shaky because they are cold, but I stay a decent amount of kind of behind Alonso, and we can see here if I'm able to get past him. The straight speed wasn't the one, but if I can gain a little bit of slipstream as well as the DRS that we're able to gain on these corners and straights, I might just find a way past him. He goes to his left, but I just don't have the space. I'm right behind him. I can't be any closer what I am right now. Any bit more on the accelerator and I'm straight up the back of him, and that is not something that we need in this race because that will be us out. I have to gain a little bit of room there just to allow him to go around that corner, because I have to be respectable in that way, just to be able to allow him the space and hopefully gain on him here. Can we do it now? We're late on the brake going into this corner. We could go round the outside, but I don't know if that's going to happen, and he's trying to squeeze us to the wall, but we're able to get past him. Lap 9 of 18 and we are through on Alonso. That makes it 11th place, but there are people pitting and that moves us straight up to 7th, 6th now. We're not able to go above Sainz because he is way ahead of us, but yeah, everyone that is pitted, we was able to go in front and we slot back into 6th. So that is not too bad whatsoever. Bear in mind we went into the pits when we was behind Alonso, so we've gained a position then, and hopefully we can gain even more. But I think Sainz is a bit too far ahead of us in all honesty. You've got the gap of 5.9 seconds at the moment going up to 6th. Alonso behind us, 400th of a second, with Russell 2 seconds behind us, nearly 3 seconds behind us actually. So he's got a lot of time to gain, and hopefully we're able to get a decent mark. But we're definitely going to be on the watch out for Alonso, because he's one that's going to be competing with us. Even though he looks in our rear view mirror, he looks in the distance at the moment, he's definitely going to creep up on us when he gets that DRS. And I say my straight speed just isn't the one at the moment. I don't feel strong whatsoever on the straight, so unless I've got someone in front of me with slipstream or I'm gaining a bit of DRS through these different sectors, then I'm definitely not able to do anything whatsoever. We're going to maintain him for the moment though. We nearly go into the wall there. As I say, this track is fine margins, it's unbelievable. I do like it though, it's very exhilarating, it's very fast, and it is very enjoyable. Alonso on our left hand side absolutely breezed past us then. Nothing I could do. I tried to go late into the brakes, but it's just not enough. Taking that corner very wide, but a decent exit will allow me to try and get past him on the straight. 200th of a second, we've got the DRS, we cruise past him on the right hand side, he tries to squeeze us to the wall, he's giving it all he can, late onto the brakes into the first corner, and oh, we're nearly into him, and we're so close. I have to go off the brakes, I have to accept that he's going to go past me, and unfortunately that is now lap of 11 and we are into 7th place and we've dropped a place down. Such competitive racing that we have here at the moment. It's so nice to compete with the big boys. But who's this? This is George Russell saying about that 3-second gap that we had. I told you he'd be creeping up on us. Someone that is going to be trying to go on the outside, but we squeeze him out and we should get a bit of DRS. It's not just under, it's just under a second. Gain a bit of DRS and hopefully we can gain a bit of time on Alonso there as we creep up on him. Russell recording the fastest lap of the race there, as you can see. But yeah, we're just so on the back of Alonso. It's unbelievable how this man can defend. We've made a huge mistake there with going off the brakes, and Russell sees the opportunity and goes right past us. Unbelievable from him. So that is now lap 13 of 18. We've got myself in 8th, we've got Russell in 7th. Saying that though, Russell makes a lovely overtake on the straight there and he's able to gain it. I'm not able to gain any sort of position up though. Just from there you can see I was late on the brakes and had to allow him that little bit of space. But unbelievable racing in all honesty, and it's so tight through here. These DRS sectors are unbelievable in this circuit. You can see, as you can see on your screen right now, weaving in and out of the corners, wheel to wheel. I'm right behind him also. I mean, there is no room for error whatsoever. Every little hundredths of a second count, and that is the big thing with this circuit. I mean, just look at how good it looks. Unbelievable work from EA this year on the game. So happy with the 2 races that I've played at the moment and hoping to get more under my belt. So lap 15 of 18, we're still in the same position with Russell on 6th, Alonso 7th and myself in 8th. But I try to get a little bit of room late onto the brakes there. I can't get any later and I've made contact with him. I've banged my wheel onto his back wheel and I seem to get past him. I think he gives me the space more than anything because of the contact that I made. Surprised we didn't get a warning for a collision with Fernando Alonso, but we are through and we're into 7th. Fortunately, lap 17 now, and we're finding ourselves behind Alonso. We're gaining a nice bit of straight speed there. I bang into the wall, but I just can't seem to get past him. I tried to go round the outside, but he's so tight into that corner. I'm going to get DRS going into this corner. Russell is way ahead now. Talking about him being 2 seconds behind, he's now 4 seconds in front of us. We go past Alonso at lap 18 of 18. It's the final lap of the race. Late onto the brakes as we hit the first corner. Surprised I didn't smack into him then. I nearly lose the back. And oh my lord. I smack into the back tyre of him. This is the second time I've had a collision with him now. And as you can see, a warning from the FIA to say basically don't do that again. Otherwise we will give you a time penalty. I'm able to gain a little bit of momentum coming out of them corners and do gain the space, but as you can see by my rear view mirror, he is right behind me and right on the back of me. Can't seem to do much whatsoever. I'm just going to have to wait for him to go by, and that is that. Oh, he's got past. He's got past. He's too strong. He's way too strong. That Aston Martin car is way too fast for what I've got. Don't think I'm going to gain any sort of momentum out of this corner, and again I hit into the back of him. We're probably losing a little bit of my front wing. But unfortunately, we're going to get some DRS, but I think it's too little, too late, and we do go over the line with P8. I am happy with that though. As much as I wanted to get past Alonso, I am very, very happy with that. That is 2 points on the board, I do believe, and it is definitely a start. Valtteri Bottas getting driver of the day, and as you saw previously, Sergio Perez is your race winner. Red Bull completely dominating the field as expected. Not a lot we can normally expect because it's normally either Perez or Verstappen, and it's going to be a Red Bull. Leclerc being just behind him in 2nd place. We'll get confirmation who finished 3rd there. But an unbelievable race from us though. Some really good points in there to take out. A lot of things to improve on, don't get me wrong, but this is definitely a step in the right direction for us. We need to make times like this where we basically getting the points. Obviously we're not going to be title contenders this year, but we want to get the points and we want to kind of put ourselves in the right direction for next season, for where we can hopefully then be competing. Confirmation, because I wasn't too sure, that Verstappen is 3rd then, so your front 3 was Perez, Leclerc and Verstappen. They're getting their trophies, well deserved. Very good races from them. They was well in front of me, and I was nowhere near them whatsoever, and I never was going to be with the cars they've got. They shake the champagne about and they dance in jubilation. Confirmation of the last lot of results, basically. This is the finishing grid with us in 8th, Norris behind us, Ocon there, and then our teammates finishing in 21st, with being the last, unfortunately, due to Piastri having the DNF. Brilliant race from us though, we get the points and we look forward to our next race in Australia. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more content just like this one, and don't forget to hit the notification button for when I do release another video. Cheers.